welcome back to Simply Bliss Crafts. I'm not going to waste much time. I just want to get right into these DIYs and I hope we're ready to have a good time. Let's get into them. DIY number 1. So here guys, I got this book stack from a local thrift store. I believe it was in a $2 bin for us. But I picked it up and had it in my stash. This was not the last thrift haul I did, but the one previous to this. It hasn't been that long. So I wanted to get it done so it doesn't sit in my craft room forever, because I got several of those I've just been sitting here waiting for me to do something with. These are the molds that I just recently got from Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Designs, and I am just filling them up with some DOS clay. You can get DOS clay off of Amazon, and I'm just there's like 3 different molds here that I'm filling up with some of this DOS clay. And my mistake, I for some reason wasn't even thinking you should always dust your molds with some cornstarch first before you put the clay in it. It just helps the clay come out easier. I didn't actually have any problems, but it just helps it to release easier. It's gonna be probably like more for like that one with a lot of leaves and the one with the roses and stuff like that. Ones that have a lot more detail. I'm not saying that any of the ones I'm not using don't have detail, but it's probably gonna be for ones that have a little bit harder leaves that you're gonna have a hard time getting out. So just an FYI, do as I say, not as I do. Definitely use cornstarch before you put the clay in there. I was not thinking. I was just excited to, and why isn't my music playing? Oh, there we go. Okay. For some reason my music wasn't playing. But anyway, just so you guys know, like I said, I did kind of have to feed it out a little bit and stuff, but it's not like it didn't come out. It came out really nice. It came out perfect, gorgeous. And the really nice thing about these is it has that rim along the side of them, so it comes, when you're pushing the clay down, it comes out beautifully. So basically is what I'm trying to do is I'm just going to give them some of these gorgeous little details on the books. But of course they're 3 different books, so I want them to have, you know, different details on each book. So I'm just kind of going along each book, giving them that detail. I do not have, I'm using wood glue. A lot of people use like Type Bond and stuff like that. This is just stuff that I have on hand. It works fantastic. So I'm just painting it on with a paintbrush. And when you're doing this, this is still wet. So because I need it to mold to the book, and the book is curved, so I am gluing this down when it's still wet. So when you're pushing down, make sure you push down very gently so you don't disturb the details on this clay mold. So here I'm doing this one with the second book here, and I am just cutting the details out again. Kind of pushing down into the little corners and stuff, trying to get it to where it looks like it's a part of the book. And we're gonna glue this one down with the same glue. Now, this one, I was thinking about doing it on that one, but I really wanted this one to be a little bit different. So I went in the front. Granted, these are technically supposed to be like sitting long ways on your bookshelf, but I thought these would be really cute if you would set them, you know, sideways as well, you know, like a normal book stack. And you can set them either way. So I decided I was going to put this way and decorate the frame or the spine on this one this way. So I just put it the long ways and cut the excess off on that one. And then I went in with gypsy green on the bottom book here. I do show me painting each book just so you get the right colors. I should have went in at the beginning and showed you what colors I'm going to be coloring each book, but I didn't do that. So I kind of just show you the beginning of coloring the books. So this one I go in with gypsy green. I do paint the whole book, and I do 2 coats on it on each book. So this one's gypsy green. The second book I'm going in with sandy blonde. Make sure you're getting down in all of the little details in these molds too. And then this one here, I'm going in with kind of a powder blue. It's called Prom Queen. And then I go in with my heat gun, and I kind of just give it a really quick dry. I do then go in with some of my I cover the top of it with Mod Podge. This is Vintage Seed. What was the top of that? I don't remember. I believe these are just I got the container right here by me. Decor Transfers. It's Vintage Seed is the name of it, but I found one that I really liked, and I'm just cutting that out for the top of it. I do go over the top of this book though with a little bit of Mod Podge. I do have Big Top somewhere in my stash, and that you can use as well, but I had Mod Podge just in front of me, so I just did that. I would recommend doing that unless you have time to let your paint like completely cure and set, because otherwise you're going to end up pulling up your paint. Ask me how I know this. You also need to let your Mod Podge dry fully, because you will have the same problem. Ask me how I know. So here I'm just putting my little rub-on transfer down, and then I'm just rubbing with the little plastic stick that they each rub-on transfer gives you. And then you flip the plastic piece over and you just varnish a little bit of it. Just make sure everything sticks down really well. I do cut that little piece off at the very end of it because we don't need that. And I want this to look really vintage, because that's what we're going with. We're going vintage books. So I grab my sanding block and I want to make this look rough. I want to make it look like it's an image that's been on there for a very long time. And then I'm going over the entire book stack, everything with clear wax. Now, if you're not familiar with DIY paints, it's clay based and it can be reactivated. with water. So everything needs to be sealed. So that's what the clear wax will do. Big Top will do that. Any of the waxes will do that, actually. But I am going over it with dark wax, which is what I'm doing right now. Dark wax will just make it look vintage and make it look dirty. The reason why I went over with clear wax before I went over with dark wax is because the clear wax will help you be able to rub on the dark wax better to where you can rub back some of that dark wax. So if you don't want it to look so dirty, like if you don't want it to be so dark, this is a good way to do it. But I am just getting into all of the little nooks and crannies, all of those details on those molds and stuff, those clay molds. I'm getting in all the little nooks and crannies with my paintbrush and everything, and then I'm just wiping back. But make sure, like I said, that you're getting into, or you're not pushing too hard on those molds, because they are still wet at this point. So just make sure that you're getting in all those little details. Like this one here has a bunch of writing on there. I'm making sure that I'm getting in all of that. I want these to look dirty, dusty, old, vintagey. I'm trying to say the word. I love how these books turned out. This is probably my favorite project, and I'm in love with them. I am going to definitely keep these. I was debating on whether, because they turned out so good, on maybe trying to sell them this summer, but I don't know. I'm probably going to have to keep them because I absolutely love how they turned out. I forgot to do the back with my clear wax, and this is what I'm talking about with it looking dark. So I went in with some clear wax, and I'm just kind of spreading it around a little bit more and making it, and then this will lighten up a little bit more. It'll lighten up back to that other green color that we liked. I really like the other color better. And this is also Golden Rule. I went in with a little bit of Golden Rule and just kind of, with my finger, just kind of dusted over some of these molds too. And kind of where the little vines are on the book, just to give it a little shimmer. And I like I said, I love it. I do add one more touch to this. This is kind of like a last minute thing, but I just thought that blue book needed one more thing. So I took out my stamps that I just recently got from Sammy. And I decided I was going to, always sand your stamps when you first get them too, because it helps the ink stick better. But I decided to spell out vintage. So here I'm just getting my stamps lined up, and I ink them, and then I'm just going to line them up right on my little blue book there, and I hold down one side, and then I hold down the other side and stick it down, and there we go, guys. And then I wipe them off and then put them back where they belong. I wish I had a better picture, but that's how they turned out, guys. It's better in the reveal, so please hold tight. DIY number 2. This one isn't really vintage, but I am in love with doing gnomes, and I hope you guys aren't getting sick of seeing me do them, because I absolutely love doing them for you. So as you've seen, I got this gray sock, and I kind of cut right at the heel, and I filled it up with rice. And now I'm just going to stuff it with some polyfill, and then take a rubber band and just I just cut the little excess on. You don't, I mean, it's not like it's that big of a deal because the hat's going to be covering it. So I do kind of set that aside. I grab up some more clay. I decided I'm going to make a little cup for our little gnome that he's going to be holding. So I'm kind of just shaping it here. This one kind of just came to me, so it's going to be kind of like a little mug is what I'm kind of shaping it for. I kind of go based on his body, so I thought it was a little too big, so I kind of pinch a little off and I'm kind of shaping it a little bit more. I kind of round it and then kind of just flatten the tops a little bit. And then at the top, I kind of grab my little tool. I got that from the Dollar Tree. It's like a little dotting tool, and I'm just kind of going around in a little circle just to kind of make a little bit of an indentation for his drink. It's kind of going to look like it, so I'm just kind of smoothing it out at this point. Just kind of make it look like an opening. Now this is dry, air dry clay. It will dry eventually. Now I'm just making a handle. I am very impatient. I do end up just gluing it down with hot glue. I wish I wouldn't have done that because it does kind of look funky, but and it's also wet, so it doesn't stick the best. I wish I would have just pinched and kind of got it to sit. But anyway, I pushed that aside. Now we're going to go back to our gnome. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to paint it since it's still wet because it's easier, or it's it saves on cracking and stuff if you paint your clay when it's wet. So I grab vintage white and I'm just gonna paint the mug. And I paint everything except the inside of it. I don't believe I show you everything, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. And here I'm just painting it. It's actually pavement color. I could have actually do more of a brown, but it's not. It's pavement, but you're not really going to see too much of that. It's supposed to be coffee. So this is the beard that I chose. It kind of looks wild and crazy. I'm kind of going to go for a like a lack of a caffeinated gnome. Like he really needs his coffee in the morning, like he just rolled out of bed. It's kind of where we're going with it. And I think he turns out adorable. I've had these socks in my stash for a long time. I didn't really show it on camera, but I did kind of roll the inside of the end of the sock that we used for around his head in because I didn't have the end of the... It's kind of hard to explain, but I didn't have the end of the sock. I used it for another project, and I wanted it to look more like the end of... I wanted it to look more like a hat, so I didn't have the strangly ends. Anyway, moving on. So these I got from a Dollar Tree a long time ago. Anyway, they have mugs and little donuts and stuff on his hat. So I'm just gluing. I glued the little nose down. I glued it down to his hat down to his nose. I filled his hat a little bit, but I wanted this hat to be slouchy because, like I said, it looks like he's just rolled out of bed. So I'm kind of gluing his hat down to the side of him. So I just put a little glue and then I like pinched it to the side of him. Here we're going to make some arms because he needs to hold his coffee mug. So I'm just cutting a strip. And then I'm just kind of rolling. Sorry, it's a little out of frame, but you'll get the general idea. I'm just rolling and then I'm putting just a strip of hot glue and then I just roll the rest of it. And that's all we do for the arms. Strip, roll, and then a strip of hot glue, and then keep rolling. And then we'll kind of just stuff them under the hat like that. And we'll do that for both sides. And then this is kind of where we'll measure. You'll glue them under too, by the way. But this is kind of where we'll measure where the length is. See, I kind of trimmed it off a little bit because it doesn't need to be that long. And actually, I wish I would have trimmed a little bit shorter. But I just pop in a little bit of hot glue right in the middle of it, and I push down a little bead, and I kind of push it all the way in because you don't need to have them that long. I probably could have trimmed his arms shorter because after I put the mug in, I had to bend his arms a little too much. This is after the mug has dried, by the way, you guys. I let the mug dry, so this is the next day. And I'm just gluing the mug down to his little hands. And he's holding it. And there you go. His name is Rupert. And he needed his coffee fix. DIY number 3. So here's a picture frame that I've had in my stash for a while now. I got this from a thrift store. This was actually a picture frame that was... Oh, what was it? It was from New York. I got it in the Girls and Boys Club, I believe. Or Boys and Girls Club from here in town. But I had to look it up and make sure it wasn't worth anything. And it's not. It's not even... I mean, I believe it's just plastic, to be honest with you. But it looks like it's gold, and it's not. I'm not a big fan of gold, so I immediately wanted to repaint this. And I really loved the detailing in it. But I don't like gold. I am not a fan of gold. But anyway, I decided I was going to go in and paint it with Hey Sailor. And here I'm going over it with my clear wax. And like I said, it does dry back down because I really liked the color before we covered it over with the dark wax. Or with the light wax. Or clear wax. Oh my gosh, I can't talk, you guys. But we are going over it with white wax as well. And that's the main reason why I went over it with the clear wax. Because we wanted to wipe it back. I'm basically going over this because I want all those details to shine. And this is going to make all those details pop. It's going to draw out all those details. And this even kind of wipes back a little bit of the blue, and it allows some of that gold to pop in a little bit in some places, and you'll see that in the final reveal. But the main reason why I did that is because I really loved these napkins and I wanted to make this pop in this. I thought it would be really pretty. So I grabbed one of these napkins and I am using the glass and I am just cutting around the glass. I wanted those two birds to stick out in this. And then we're going to put it all back in. This was a very simple project. But those books took me a long time to do. So we needed a couple of simple projects. And that is why we only have 3 projects for you today. But I hope you enjoyed them, because I enjoyed showing them. The final reveal, guys. And here's little Rupert sipping on his coffee, having his little rough morning. And here's our vintage books, you guys. I had to move his beard out of the way so you can see some of those beautiful details. I'm absolutely in love with these books. Let me know down below, guys, what you like. Let me know down below which one your favorite. Like I said, I believe that the books were mine. Granted, I really love Rupert. Rupert's probably a really close second, if not right there with number 1. It's really hard to choose because he is, I mean, I really love making the gnomes. And if you love dogs, make sure you stick to the very, very end, because Biscuit had to say hi as well. So if you're new here, Biscuit is my dog. She's a little pug. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely hit the like button down there. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment. Commenting really helps the channel grow. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And God bless. See you guys all in the next one. I will have a collab Sunday. So, bye.